Are you running a transitional housing facility and want to ensure it stands the test of time? The secret to longevity is in the details. From the quality of furniture that you pick, every decision that you make is going to impact the future of your facility. So in today's episode, I'm going to walk you through the top strategies that I use to create a lasting, effective, and welcoming space for our residents. And you're going to want to stay on until the last strategy because that is the most important. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, the first one that I really want to make sure that you hone in on is the foundation of durability as it relates to your furniture. You want to make sure that the quality of mattress that you purchase is going to be something that is going to last you for years in that property. And the way in which you do that is, first of all, pick something that is of quality. Now, the ones we used to buy back in the day, we bought them from hotel liquidation, and they were used mattresses that they were cleaned and sanitized really well, which you can still do. If you can find a hotel liquidation company that has really good quality mattresses, I say go for that because they came from a hotel. Hotels have quality mattresses, so I don't knock it. If I could still get them for the price we used to get them for, I still would do it. But the pricing of them now are almost comparable to what's out there as far as mattresses. So we are able to find some amazing mattresses even on Amazon, and I can share that with you later if you're interested in knowing that information. And you also want to make sure that the platform that mattress is on is a solid steel framed base, because if you're not making sure that you have a platform that is durable, and you're dealing with people who are a lot larger than they used to be, then you're going to have a problem with those bed frames coming apart. Now, we actually used to have, like, when you buy the 2 mattresses, now you don't have to buy 1. So getting that for a reasonable price and getting a very durable platform bed is going to save you along the way. Another thing that you're going to want to make sure that you do is make sure, if you don't have a bed bug resistant mattress, then you want to make sure that you're purchasing encasements. Now, we have our residents purchase those up front, and we can show you how to do that well so that you're getting those mattresses covered. Because what you don't want to have happen is individuals move in and there is no bed bug resistant encasement around that mattress, and it keeps it clean. So every time someone leaves, you pull that off, and now you sustain that mattress for that time. Another thing is, as you're looking at the furniture, you want to make sure that the furniture is going to be solid. Now, I'm going to just tell you, many people are going on Facebook Marketplace, the Want Ads, Craigslist, finding used stuff, which if you can find it, go for it. But I'm telling you, been there, done that. By doing that, you end up getting in items that have bed bugs in them, or they're not durable. Picking them up are heavy as heck. Like, they're giving them away for a reason because it's some heavy stuff. So you want to make sure that you're not getting real heavy. Just because it's heavy doesn't mean it's durable, okay? But you want to just make sure that what you are purchasing are durable items that are going to last, and that you're not overkilling in the property. Some people who are new in this space crowd it with a whole bunch of stuff. They're not looking for a whole bunch of stuff. They just simply want to make sure they have a bed, a nightstand that has the little outlets in them so they can plug up their phones, and get a nice dresser, get a lamp, get a desk, get a chair. That's basic. Now, if you got extra space in the room where you are in the house where you got living room furniture and all these other things, yeah, that's great. And it's nice, but I'm just going to tell you, they're not going to use it. I've been doing this for over 15 years, and we find by setting those things up, they're not even using it. So figure out better ways that you can utilize that space to serve you, which is, because you already know I do training, so a lot of my things are set up for training so that they're getting what they need individually so that they can grow. So you want to make sure, though, that you're getting durable furniture that can stand and handle the wear and tear over time. You're also going to want to make sure that the flooring is water resistant. Now, I am a big fan of laminate flooring, and I've got this amazing guy that if you are one of my students, you get access to him. He can ship anywhere in the country, but you being able to have durable flooring, laminate flooring, that when you lay it down, you're never gonna have to touch it again. Now, I remember when we actually used to do carpet squares, like, in which the carpet squares are nice if you deal with what you deal with. But I remember putting the carpet squares down, and I'm telling you, those things, they're pretty durable, but boy, do they get nasty. But if you're gonna do something like carpeting, don't do carpeting. Do carpet squares, because now if somebody makes a little stain, you could cut it out and replace it, and it still works. But now today we basically just do laminate flooring because it lasts a lot longer. The cost, is not as low as what it would cost to get carpeting, but it lasts, and you don't have to really do a lot of changes. But you want to make sure that you have very good flooring. Now, this next piece here is related to that, because you want to make sure that you have things in place that are compliant and that is going to help residents be safe. So whatever furniture you do get, you want to make sure that it's safe and that it's compliant. Making sure that it is, meets whatever the standards are for fire resistance, and that it's easy to clean. You don't want something that you're constantly cleaning or constantly have to wipe down. Like, don't go out there and get glass tables. Like, glass is going to crack. It's not safe having glass. But having wood, something that easily stays clean or doesn't look like it's dirty all the time, those are the type of things we go for, making sure that it's going to be safe and compliant and it's easy to clean. And you're going to want to have processes in place to ensure that you're checking to make sure that the property is staying safe. So we do monthly inspections on a regular basis with the smoke detectors, with the fire extinguishers, making sure that the emergency exits are clear. Like, those are things that you're going to want to do so that over time you're not going to have any issues in that property after you have it set up. And then if you can identify items that are energy efficient, like lighting and appliances, that's going to save over periods of time. Because remember, you've got individuals who are here that are using all of your resources, and they know it's, they're not paying for the electricity or all the other things. You're providing all the utilities. So making sure you have things in place that protect that, and making sure that you're not paying more than you have to. We put like covers on our boxes for the thermostats, so that nobody's coming in and changing the temperature whenever their heart's desire. And we have a process in which we come in and come out to make sure that those temperatures stay where they need to stay. And we also have guidelines in place, so they know, if you don't do these certain things, if you do things to like leave windows open in the wintertime, or or in the summertime, that impacts that, you have measures that protect you from those high costs. So implementing things like that are critical to you being able to not pay more than you have to pay. Now, this next strategy, and this is right before the last one, which is the most important, is probably one of my favorite strategies other than the bottom. But before I share that, I want you to be sure that you subscribe to my channel and that you click the notifications, because I'm about to push out a lot of content over the next few weeks that are critical for those of you who are in this space and you want to be notified. So be sure to subscribe and get the notifications. So this particular strategy is related to maintenance. So having a maintenance plan for longevity is critical, because if you do not have a maintenance plan in place, and when I talk about, a maintenance plan is bigger than just, I'm gonna check a box. It's bigger than that. You have to make sure you have a plan that's going to make sure that this property stays the longest length of time and it stays managed, and you don't have any issues coming up in the property. And it starts with that maintenance checklist. Having a thorough maintenance checklist that not only looks at every aspect of that building, from the HVAC, servicing, doing plumbing checks, pest control, checking electricals, going through and all of those things. Like, we have a detailed list that tells us what to do monthly, quarterly, annually, semi-annually, but having a checklist is critical so that you can and you doing it, not just having it, but then doing it, and making sure you have someone you trust who can do that for you, which we have amazing training on how to find those people. So if you're interested in that, definitely send me some notes as well. But making sure that you have a process in which you are checking the property regularly, because I promise you, there will come a time you do not do that and it's set up all pretty, you're going to see it 6 months and say, what the heck just happened? 6 months later, and you'll have to deal with that. So making sure you have a checklist in place is critical to longevity in your property. Also making sure that you have a repair fund in place. Heaven forbid something major happens, you don't have those things in place. And we're not just talking about little things, but we're talking, the big things that most people think of, like, but this is a property that you have to maintain over time. And light bulbs going out, light fixtures changing, all of those things plays a part. And when those unexpected repairs come through, you do not want the financial strain. The biggest ones that we always prepare for is making sure that our HVAC systems, that's probably the biggest one that I can see, because remember, it's pooling all the time, and you've got doors closed sometimes, like things are happening in that house that are different than a regular house. And so that system, you need to make sure you're managing that system, and then making sure that monies are set aside just in case, especially if you do not have a new one. If you don't have a new HVAC system, I would encourage you to make sure you have a home plan that's going to manage that house in case something big happens, and boom, now you can use that home plan that will take care of that cost for you. But that's you thinking through all aspects of the property. And we've got more details on that as we talk more about maintenance in some of our next episodes. But you're going to want to do that. But then the most important part of that whole thing, because you got to involve the residents in how you manage the maintenance issues and the way in which those are sent to you. So I want to encourage you to create something, and individuals in the property, they're going to report issues to you early before they become a problem, and educate them on the proper use of the shared space and items, so that you're not going to have a problem later on that woulda, shoulda, coulda, somebody told you months ago you could have caught before it became truly an issue. So those are the type of things that you're going to want to do. Now, this last one is the best strategy that I use to be able to make sure this property lasts over time. And that is making sure that the residents are involved in this process. And I sort of touched on some of it in the last one, because without residents supporting what you are building here, you're going to have a problem. And they are the best resource for you because they live in the property and they want to continue having a nice property. So when we talk about utilizing the residents, we utilize it more than for maintenance. We utilize it. They're like they keep things in order. It's almost like having people who tell you things that you typically, because people don't believe in snitching, right? This ain't snitching. It's like they let you know, they keep you informed because they want a nice place to live in. So we make sure that the residents are involved in this process as it relates to how they share information back and forth with us. We have regular meetings with them so that they're communicating with us as a whole. We're reinforcing the guidelines and rules with them on a regular basis. And we do all that seamlessly so that they can be informed of what's coming, as well as us finding out what's going on. Because you can't be there all the time. You can't be in the facility all the time seeing what's going on. But guess what? They are. They do. They let you know what's going on. They let you know when there's issues going on. And you want to make sure that you have that, as well as making sure that their experience there is a good experience. Because what you don't want to feel is that you're just in a house that's like a throwaway house or a slum house that's nasty and dirty and filthy. You want to be able to feel like it's home, right? You want them to feel like this is their home. So doing those personal touches for them, making sure that they're involved and having some beautiful, like they want to see artwork in their room. Don't forget about that. You don't want to be in a room with nothing on the walls. So putting those personal touches that you can afford to do. Now, if you want to go to the thrift store for those items, you can do that, because those are things you can clean. Like after you get them, clean them really good and make sure there's no issues with it. But you can use artwork, you can use a variety of different things to make it feel like home to them. And you make sure that there's processes in place, because once again, once you've set it up once, the expectation is as people come in and they bring their personal touch to it, they're going to be adding their items too. Because there's going to be items that say, hey, anyone can use these. Anyone can use this pot that I just got, this cast iron skillet. When you bring these items in, the expectation is that you don't have to maintain it all. Let them contribute and be a part and leave things to the home. And that's how you build this up. Because if you create it well enough where they have shared space, they're not just separate, not really connected to each other, but they've created a community. That's what you want to do, is create community. And that is why I say this is my most important strategy that we do with our residents, is we create community for them in that home. And so as new people come in, they're coming into a new environment saying, well, I like it here. I don't want to go anywhere. Now, we clearly want them going to their next phase. It's not going to be a forever home, but you want it to be comfortable for them while they are there. And that's why this is the most important strategy to me as I talk about longevity and keeping a property to last and to stand the test of time. That's what we want to do. So I want you to know that running a transitional housing facility is a long-term commitment, and it's going to require you making smart investments in processes and plans in place to ensure that that space can last, and you want to build it for that. Because remember, quality always wins over quantity, especially when it comes to the comfort and safety of your residents. So if you found this episode to be helpful, I want you to hit it, like it, share it. And I want you to be sure to subscribe, because we are here to help provide opportunities for people who are underserved. Because as we transform their lives, we know that we can transform the world.